Welcome back, everybody. As you may well now know, and you may also not know, I was a part of the first edition of the Pinkbike Academy. If you need to Google that, I'll give you a second. Okay, we're back. Pinkbike Academy was essentially a reality TV show for mountain bikers. We were competing for a chance at a pro contract with Orbea bikes, 25K cash from Pinkbike, and a whole mess of other goodies. So I got the opportunity to go out for a couple weeks to BC and actually shoot for that event. I'm not going to spoil too much, but I do have the episodes in front of me. I'm actually going to do, well, I guess a breakdown of what's going on screen. I've got the video, the first week up here on my screen right now. We're going to take a look at that together, and I'm going to sort of walk you through a little bit of behind the scenes. Without further ado, as you can well see, I have got some new hardware, unfortunately. Actually, while I was on that trip out to BC, I ended up breaking my back in two places, about 8 or 9 ribs, and fractured a couple other vertebrae. It was not a good crash. But I'm doing better now. It's been a little over 2 months, and I'm doing pretty well up and moving around. But we'll get to more of that later. Right now, let's dive in.
10 incredible riders. 2 weeks of challenges that will push them to the limit. One winner that will take home $25,000 plus a pro contract. Welcome to the Pinkbike Academy, presented by Shimano.
Push the pedal to the floor. In this game, we always try to push me to my limit, but
yeah, Vlad!
Okay, so we'll stop right there. Vlad, back a few screens. Vlad was actually one of my favorite people on set. I ended up being a roommate with him the entire week. Really, really cool, super chill guy. I don't know how they depict him in the show quite yet, but really insanely cool guy. He's from Russia. He's been in Canada about 5 years now. Super cool dude. Anyways, back to it. Hey, I know that guy. Oh, this does get me hyped. Just so far, I haven't actually seen any of the videos. This is my first time watching the first, well, episode. So I'm really excited to see. I know what happened there, but really excited to see what it looks like on screen.
Yeah. Awesome. We've scoured the country for mountain bikes' next superstar and brought you all here to Big White to compete for $25,000 and a pro contract from Orbea Bikes. You'll all receive a custom Orbea Rayon designed through their MyO program, along with a bunch of kit from our series sponsors. And all of it is just through those doors.
Pretty rad. So Christina, we all got like a rainbow of bikes, but Christina's bike I actually think was the coolest. It was like a really dark British racing green with a metallic flake in it. Insane. Super cool.
Yeah. What are you guys waiting for? Or get on in.
Today was our first day at the Pinkbike Academy. We were welcomed by Jason and told that we'd be competing against each other.
Everyone excited?
Yeah. I think.
So the challenge today was we were blindfolded, brought into a room. Everything was black.
You have a clue of what's going on?
No.
Perfect.
So at this point in time, I kind of suspected what was going on. We actually came in the day before and got to build all our bikes and tweak everything and tune it all up. And then got out for a ride in the afternoon as like a test preliminary ride to make sure everything was working properly. But I kind of had a feeling this may be, when they were leading us inside, this might be where it was going.
Definitely a surprise to walk into first thing in the morning.
On the count of 3, drop your blindfolds.
I feel like I already had so much pressure on myself. Before I had even taken off my blindfold, I could feel my hands were shaking. I was vibrating.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
It's my bike.
Hey, this is my bike. You may notice your bikes are a little unfinished. This is your first challenge.
It was pretty annoying seeing our bikes all unbuilt, but you know what? It's for the challenge, so I'm all for it.
Okay, so the pretty annoying comment from Ben actually comes in the fact that We were there the day before and we spent quite a few hours tuning and dialing them all in.
You must build your bikes using the tools provided by Feedback Sports. And of course, we're timing you.
When I saw my bike, I was just like, okay, I'll do my best. It's not riding, so I guess it's not that important.
Today on our judging panel, we have the lovely Christina Schapetta. Christina has raced her bike all over the world and knows what it takes to compete at the highest level. This year, she joined Pinkbike as a video presenter, creating content such as riding tutorials, mechanical how-tos, and race coverage. We also have guest judge Drew McKenzie. Drew works at Shimano and has spent his fair share of time racing as well as working on bikes. Drew will be key in spotting riders who know their way around a work stand and who may find themselves a bit lost. He's gonna be checking your bolts, so make sure you do them tight. These bikes come completely kitted with Fox suspension, Shimano drivetrain and brakes, Pro components, as well as Maxxis tires, Stans wheels, so yeah, they're pretty sick. And bikes are sick, so we had to make sure you look sick. So we partnered with Fox Clothing, Ride Concept Footwear, as well as watches and head units from Garmin and GoPros to capture all the action. The winner of this challenge will receive immunity from the first.
So a lot of that stuff we actually did get to keep, which was really nice. Getting to go out west is kind of like, well, we had a reason. Like, we got to keep the GoPro and the watch. We didn't get to keep the head unit, which I was a little bummed on because I broke my old one and kind of needed a new one. But we got a lot of really cool stuff, and the Fox riding gear that we got was insane. The bikes were also super cool. We didn't get to bring those home, even if we won. But yeah, it was a good time.
First elimination. You can also ask your guest judge for help, but there's a time penalty of 5 minutes, or you can ask for help from a fellow contestant after they're finished for a time penalty of 2 minutes. We're judging you on how quickly you build your bike, how well you build your bike, and if the bike's safe to ride once you're done. All right, everyone ready? Yep. 3, 2, 1, go.
I actually do manage a bike shop here in Quebec where I live. I kind of had a slight advantage going into this because I work on Rallons quite often. We're a major Orbea dealer, so I do get to see them. A couple screens back, you can see me kind of looking over the bike. I was actually deciding exactly what wrenches I needed. I knew I needed an 8mm for the pedals, a 4mm for the stem, a 4mm for the brakes, and a 5mm for something else, but I don't remember what it was. But I was deciding what wrenches I actually needed to go so I could be a little more efficient in the long run.
Go. Mad dash for the pump at the beginning there. Look at Vlad's arms while he's pumping there. It's insane.
I would say there is a pretty good chance I was the fastest to pump up my tires. I think I have a physical advantage, just a little bit, maybe.
Now, Christina, you've obviously wrenched on your own bikes before. How important is it that athletes know how to do this stuff?
I'd say it's super important, especially knowing the tools, having the right tools. You know, if you're traveling all over the world, potentially, like your bike's coming out of a box, so you better know how to put it together because chances are you don't have a personal mechanic.
Yeah. Drew, early standouts, who's impressing you right now?
The speed of Julia and Addison's pretty good. Staying composed, getting things on, not too much fumbling.
And what are you looking for right now?
Just kind of keeping an eye on everything and kind of assessing who decided to do what first.
So you see, actually that was me fumbling around with my front wheel. The new Fox 38 front axle is really difficult to get in. The way it slides in, it's not very intuitive. That was extremely difficult to figure out when we had never done it before. At least it was annoying for me. I imagine it was probably annoying for everybody else. I don't think anybody else had ridden the 38 prior to this.
My confidence in my mechanic skills needs some improvement.
This is so frustrating. Why is this so hard?
Like everything, that takes time, and I am slowly figuring it out. My name is Angie Mccurdy. I'm 27 years old, and I'm from Squamish, BC. I started riding bikes in high school with our local mountain bike club. After high school, I took a few years off riding bikes. And then when I was in my early 20s, I started riding bikes again. I moved to Squamish, got a really good group of ladies that I shred with. If anything, I'm glad that it's half men and half women because I feel like it's a stronger advantage towards females. I don't want to be overly confident, but I want to have faith in my skill level and believe what I can achieve. I'm a solid rider. I have a good skill set. I am competitive.
This riding was from the night before. Like I said, we built our bikes. That rock roll was really, really fun. It was a really cool section to ride. It was really cool the way it went in, and then the way you shot out of it was a lot of fun and a really good time. It was also pretty gnarly, pretty tall rock.
I'm definitely nervous, but a little bit of nerves is always a good thing.
2 minutes in, Tom's got both wheels on. Are they inflated? Who knows? Thank you. Oh, cooperation there, I like it.
Tom, can I grab that after you?
Yeah.
I'm after you, Ben.
Not to spoil anything, but the pumps were definitely exceptionally crucial to this challenge, as you'll see a little bit later. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. God, what is going on here? This is really annoying. As you can see, I had to change headphones. Unfortunately, my other headphones were not cooperating. The Bluetooth wasn't working very well, so I swapped it up. Now I've got a nice cord to really beautify this shot. Let's continue.
Of course. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Evan, I'm after you.
I knew that you needed to pump the tires first, then stem, then wheels, then pedals. That was kind of going to be my fastest recipe, but everyone else had the same thought and went for the pump. So I automatically just adjusted and said, all right, the wheels will have to wait. We'll put them on the bike and we'll pump them up on the bike.
Addison, both wheels on. Very nice.
I lost my chance earlier, but just had to adapt, regain focus, and continue on with the mission. My name is Addison Zawada. I am originally from South Carolina, down in the States, but currently residing in Montreal, Canada. My age is 29 years old, and I like to ride bikes. Gonna critique, I really hate the way I put together that sentence. I wanted it to sound clever. Didn't sound that great. Cycling history is long and varied, from BMX to spandex and road bikes to a little bit of mountain bikes here and there for fun, to the long Flint hills of gravel racing. I have not done a lot of mountain bike racing, but I've done both ends of the spectrum. I've been 45 seconds of BMX and 13 hours of gravel racing. Put those two together with the technical skills involved in BMX, and I think I've got a pretty good recipe for an enduro racer. On any given day where I'm given the same opportunity, the same equipment, I feel like I'm a strong rider, and I feel like I'll be able to. That was that same rock roll I was talking about with Angie earlier. Really fun, really cool. That was the first run through it for me to perform. I've always thought I was fast. Now I get to find out how fast I actually am.
Addison, just noticed those brakes are loose. Gonna have to tighten those up.
Yeah.
Where's the pump? Any pump? Oh,
No one has asked for assistance yet. I'm impressed. This is awesome.
is there a pump?
Nice.
Pump, pump, pump.
Misha running around frantically for a pump. Only 2, 10 riders. It's almost like we planned it that way.
My name is Michaela Pachakova, but everyone calls me Misha. I'm from Czech Republic. I'm 34 years old. I live in Whistler, BC for the last 8 years. Since I was a child, my family was quite into biking. So every vacation, summer vacation we always brought bikes. I've done lots of biking on gravel roads or pavement. We used whatever bikes we had, road bikes or no gears. So when I moved to Canada in 2012, my first summer here, I got to know what actual mountain biking means and started to progress from there. My strongest skills for this event is just being who I am, being easygoing and kind of trying to enjoy the event.
Faster!
Everyone was fighting
I
for that
wasn't
pump
really paying attention.
almost the whole time.
I heard some noises and some sounds. You can put my back wheel on. I actually told myself before, I was like, don't let anyone else affect you. I was very not actually too aware of that.
It looks like it's taking a long time to pump up. That's because it really is. They're a really low volume, high pressure pump, which means pumping up 29er mountain bike tires took what seemed like forever.
Make sure those bolts are tight. We will be checking, but not too tight.
So just about the end of the challenge. That brings up a really good point. So during this challenge, I was doing everything like I would on a typical day in a bike shop. I was using torque wrenches, I was doing things properly, I was cutting my zip ties, I was making sure everything was spick and span. I set my bike up as if I was building a World Cup bike for a racer at one of the World Cups. I dialed everything in to a T, and I'm really proud of that. I think my bike was put together exceptionally well considering the restraints. For myself, I was working on my bike, finishing up the last few dial-ins, and started looking for a pump.
Addison's searching for a pump. All are in use right now.
And then I heard the contestant Julia actually call a pump.
Angie, can I have it after you?
But then when I got done with everything, she still wasn't on the pump. The pump was free, so I went to grab it.
Hey, Julia.
And as soon as I turn around, Julia's standing there with her hands open. I was like, there you go.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so close.
Oh, look at that teamwork right there. Julia with the pump now.
It does take a substantial... Jason, that was not teamwork. That was just being nice. Substantial amount of time to actually pump up these tires. So I knew that I was gonna fall back in line, but I heard her call it first. I don't wanna be that guy that like ruins someone else's contest. All in all, just trying to be fair and a gentleman about it.
Should they be doing teamwork? I don't know.
Even if it cost you something, doing the right thing is kind of always the way to go for myself.
Just over 5 minutes in, you guys are crushing it.
Oh, Jesus.
I still stand behind that. No matter what happened, I still stand behind doing the right thing. It's always a good thing and always the thing to do. Should I have given her the pump? I don't know still, but was it a deciding factor? I don't really think so.
Double checking his work. Remember, once the bike goes down, you are done.
Oh, wow.
Lad's got his plate going on. Whoa, with the nab.
Done.
We got Ben done.
I'm just really not sure like why they're even here because it's probably should be just a one-man show, you know?
All right, I've got to explain something to the rest of the world because a lot of you, I don't think, out there grasp this concept. But if you don't understand what Ben's doing when he flips his hat backwards and puts his glasses on, it's a two-faced personality that he did in his interview profile. It was kind of a gig there, and it's just being funny. Ben's actually a really cool guy. Definitely a guy I'd go have a beer on a Friday night with. I really enjoyed hanging out with him. Really cool dude. Don't judge him based off of that. You should probably go find his interview video on his Instagram because that might explain a few things, but really cool guy. Generally, everybody, all 9 other of the athletes were really cool to hang out with.
My name is Ben Wallace. I'm 20 years old and I'm from North Vancouver. Born and raised on the North Shore, so I've kind of just been riding for as long as I can remember, basically. 3 years ago, I started racing downhill World Cups. I raced 2 years junior, and then I did a season of Elite last year. First impression of the other athletes is definitely pretty good. Everyone's super nice and super chill to relax with, and so it's a good group to hang out with for the 2 weeks. Turns out they're even more Joey than I thought. They're they're probably on the green trails out there right now. I'm hanging out here, not knowing like what kind of challenge.
This is what I mean. Like, not actually like that.
Riding a new bike. It's
just a play for reality TV. Got to make the show, right?
And it's gonna be an easy win for me. Because I could have like this personality where I'm like a complete to everyone, but they would never know.
Evan with the pump.
See,
All he
there it
has
is.
to do is inflate
A lot of
his
people don't
tires.
understand that in the show, I don't
Glad
think.
done. Addison pushing the pump through the floor. Tom with his race plate, almost done. Nisha going for the race plate. We got Addison and Angie both race plating up right now. Almost done.
Things are getting heated.
Tom done.
It's done.
Nisha done.
Done. Nah.
Angie done. Joe almost can't get it out of the stand. Joe is done. Done.
It's a pretty bike. Nah, I wasn't surprised. First challenge, first win. It's no big deal. If you ain't first, you're last.
Help from a friend. Help from a friend. Addison.
Oh, yeah, Nicole's calling for help from a friend.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, what a nice guy.
I asked help from Addison just because at that point everyone had finished and I knew it was going to take me a really long time, and I was just, I guess, really sweaty and kind of shaky at that point. I couldn't even get the axle in the front tire. I'm Nicole Kennedy.
Again, back to that axle, like I said, it was
I'm from
extremely
Golden,
difficult if you
Colorado.
hadn't done it before to
I
know
started biking
how
a
it
little
worked
bit
and
with my
how it went
family
in.
when I was a kid.
It's definitely different than
Always been
any
a
other
little
front
interested
axle.
in racing because my uncle raced semi-pro. Along the way to enduro racing, I moved into my little Toyota truck for a summer to save up for my enduro bike. I did suffer a traumatic brain injury, and during that I did have some post-concussional depression, and the only thing that helped me with that and got me through it was my bike. And then we moved up to beautiful BC, and I started.
That note right there was something that I actually didn't know when we were shooting. I didn't know anything about that. I don't know if she talked with other people, but really interesting to find out after the fact, because I had no idea about that.
I started racing some bigger enduros. You can do anything you set your mind to, and I always tell myself I can do all things. I am Wonder Woman. So I feel like I could win the Academy, but I also feel like I could come probably in the middle as well, seeing how all things pan out.
She's such a shredder.
I
Like,
talked about it.
hardcore.
Can I start over when I'm done crying?
Can you pass me one of those three-ways? Big one.
I've made it pretty apparent that I work on bikes for a living, so going into this, I kind of suspected that someone would ask for my help maybe. I was hoping it wasn't in the middle of building my bike, because that would not have been much fun to be like, you gotta wait a minute.
Addison has 1 minute to help Bella Nicole there.
Someone needs help, it's not going to affect you in a negative way. Why not help them out? I mean, she needed help, so I gave it to her.
Done.
Evan done. Between Julia and Nicole for the final.
Pressure's on.
Julia making the final check. Everything tight, pedals are on.
All right, just slow down. Focus on what you're doing.
Yep.
No need to rush at this point.
Oh, Julia done.
I knew I was gonna be the last one, it's okay. I mean, there's always curveballs, and I still had fun with it, and I know there's a bunch of elements of surprise, and they're not judging just on time, so maybe because everyone did do everything so fast, maybe their bikes came out not as ideal as they'd hoped, so maybe I have chances there.
Am I still got time or am I over?
You're out.
Okay. I didn't tighten the pinch bolt.
I actually got a lot done in a minute. I got her rear wheel put on, both pedals, and helped her finish up her front wheel as well as put her chain on and adjusted her gears. I was pretty happy with that minute, although I think it was more like a minute 15, a minute 30. I actually had to ask Jason if it was a minute or not because he was so focused on what we were doing that he wasn't looking at his watch, but I thought that was pretty funny.
Okay. That's a fun, because I have a number plate.
Nicole grabbing the race plate. Nicole hitting the finish line.
Done. I don't think I'm going home, but I just hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Hubba bubba. Ooh, fun.
All right, everyone. Challenge 1 complete. How you feeling?
Good.
We're gonna take some time with the judges to deliberate. We gotta take a look at some things. Why don't you guys head outside to the lounge and chill for a bit? We'll call you when we're ready. Good job, everyone.
I think I have a good chance. I put in a lot of effort. I actually built my bike to race spec. I did all the torques properly. I made sure everything was straight and dialed in. I'd be confident I'd take my bike down the mountain without touching it again.
For sure, I think I have a good chance at winning the first challenge. Yeah, I guess I had the fastest time, and then I think everything was really put together, so I'm pretty stoked on the outcome of that, and I think I have a good shot at winning. Oh, I wish we knew the stress level.
Okay, while we're just outside talking around and stuff,
Still at 117.
that's a continuing trend that I reiterate throughout the week is doing things properly when I build my bike, because that's what I do for a living, so it's what I know the most. So I really continue to put a big emphasis on that throughout the entire week when I'm doing mechanics, or just trying to do things to a T when I can.
But you know, I didn't really have time to look down at my Garmin to check the heart rate, but I just had to make sure I was focused on the challenge. But I think it was probably pretty high. You go to health.
What was your maximum?
What?
What was your maximum?
I don't know, because I wasn't looking at it when I was doing it.
No, but you can check it on your watch. I saw that.
Throughout the entire week, this is a reoccurring theme. What's your stress level at? What's your heart rate at? We played with these watches all week. It was absolutely hilarious.
So guys, first challenge done and dusted. What do you guys think?
It was interesting. They were pretty nervous leading up to it with the blindfolds on.
I was pretty impressed. It went quicker than I thought and a little smoother than I thought.
So let's start off.
So on that note, I'll throw in a quick interjection. The total time, even for Nicole's, and she was the slowest, only took about 14 and a half minutes, which is still not bad, all things considered. The fastest time was 7 minutes with Ben, and the times were spread apart a lot more than it looks like on TV. People keep coming up to me like, oh, did that pump make the difference? Like, no, that pump made no difference in me beating Ben or any of the other top 3 contestants. I took longer. I focused on specific things and really dialing my bike in. The times were a lot more spread apart than they make it look like on TV, but that's the glory of editing, is you get to make things super suspenseful, and it adds a really fun element to it and more of a competition element than us just all standing around. So it was really cool. They did a really good job with that. I liked it.
On who killed it? Who did the best?
So Addison did well, Ben did well, and Vlad was pretty good too.
Yeah,
See, it's not always about the fastest. I think I was like 5th place or so, and he said I still did really well. So I'll take that from.
say for sure those 3 guys really stood out.
So that's who did well. Who didn't do so well?
Angie probably had the least prepared bike. Stem was significantly loose. Some pinch bolts were loose. So it would have been a catastrophic failure right away riding.
So Nicole obviously finished last time-wise, but how was the build?
I did see her kind of fumbling with, she pumped up the tires right away, but just getting them into the frame. Threading on the pedals looked a bit confusing at a time or 2. She called for help. Addison was right there ready to help her, so I gave him a little brownie point in my book.
Well then, based on our judging criteria, do we have someone at the bottom?
I think it's pretty close. There's probably 3 back runners based on how time will play out, and then the ratings on technique, and then finished product in terms of safety. It's going to be tight.
All right, first challenge in the bag. How's everyone feeling?
Good.
Nervous.
Excited. Well, at the start of the day, I let you guys know that the winner of this challenge would receive immunity from the next elimination, and that person is Ben.
Whoa!
Congratulations, Ben.
Speed isn't everything, but it's a
Bike
big
was built the fastest. It was done upright. Good job, man.
Sweet, thank you. There's no way that I wasn't first. Like there's levels here, right? Like I'm up here, they're kind of like hanging out down here in this bench, you know? So yeah, it was an easy win.
More than anything, douche bin just makes me laugh a lot.
Now for some bad news. Angie, you are today's loser of the challenge, unfortunately. Your timing was good, but unfortunately your bar and stem were not done up right and the bike was not race ready.
That's big.
I don't feel like I should have been eliminated. I don't feel that my bike was the worst. Like, I didn't finish last.
However, no one is getting eliminated today.
So unfortunately, I do have to disagree slightly. It's one thing to be slow, but to have an unrideable bike is kind of a big deal when we're riding bikes. So I kind of disagree with her in that sense. I see where she's coming from, but a properly put together bike is a big thing. Even if you ask help from somebody, making sure your bike is rideable before you go to ride it is really, really important to your safety and to other people's safety if you're riding with friends.
Do this to me.
We were all really stoked when they said no one was getting eliminated.
But don't rest too easy, because the results from this challenge will be included in the results from the next challenge. And I bet you guys are wondering what that challenge will be.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Of course.
Like, Nicole should be in my position. She got help from another contestant, and she was significantly longer after me. I feel like out of a box, I can assemble my bike and I can ride my bike, and I don't know if Nicole can do that.
We made it. We made it.
To Angie's credit, at that point in time, like, emotions are high. As the first, like, quote-unquote elimination, nobody actually got eliminated, but, like, it's a big deal to be in last place, more so than being in first place. So emotions are running high. I still agree with the judges on this one. It was close, but the fact that it was not rideable is a pretty big thing in the world of riding bikes. Angie can put together a bike. I saw it later on in the week. She knows what she's doing.
Contestants, welcome to challenge number 2. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that our judges noticed that across the board in our bike build challenge, there were some small errors. Remember, this competition is about speed, but also consistency and accuracy. With that out of the way, let's begin challenge number 2. We're gonna see just how fast you guys are with a one-stage enduro race.
I want to know what was wrong with my bike, because I still don't know what was wrong with it.
From the top of Big White Bike Park. And luckily, there's a handy-dandy chairlift right behind you for me to take up. I think it's more authentic if you guys pedal. It is enduro after all, so I'll see you at the top of the mountain. Is everyone ready?
Yeah!
3, 2, 1, go.
Let's do it.
Woo!
How far are we going?
All the way.
Branding. Well, actually, the rope ends right there.
I'm a biker.
He's a rebel.
Rebel without a car.
At this point, it felt really good to, like, get out and just ride bikes with everybody and just hang out. It was really cool. It was about a 45-minute climb. We rode together for the most part of it. It was really fun. It was a good time to just sort of bond and, like, get to know each other. This is so funny. To watch rapping in real life, this was hilarious.
Whoa, what a savage climb. How you doing? No!
I love it.
Next time on Pinkbike Academy.
Plaid rips his shirt off, just all Greek goddess of him.
Oh my goodness.
Not going with the...
Oh no!
This makes me smile a lot.
Someone's hurt themselves and crash.
Ben's competitive, and that's gonna stir some pots later on.
That's funny. That was really good. The whole tire stabbing was a little over dramatized, but it was hilarious. I loved it. Watching it happen in real life was even better. It was a ton of fun. As for the first episode, I'm blown away. The Boombox group crushed the production. Pinkbike, that was fun. That was really good fun. Like, even if you don't know about bikes, like, I think that was fun to watch, which is really cool. I'm really excited to be a part of it. That was just episode 1. We've got 9 more episodes, which means 9 more weeks of this. I'm gonna continue this. If you like the video, throw a like down, subscribe if you haven't already. Tell me in the comments what you would like to see me commentate on. Would you like to know juicy details about different riders, or what do you want to see? What do you want me to explain happen? Let's keep this going. It means 9 more of these videos, and then maybe one big wrap-up video at the end. For now, my name is Addison Zawada. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.